people instigating and picking and, oh, well, Suga T, you gave your space to Nicki Minaj. I'm like, gave my space? What are you talking about? She took my space. I done already did all this stuff. I'm over there cheering for Nicki, go, Nicki, go. And I'm over there resting forward, like, girl, I'm over here resting. I'm too tired to run behind. I'm like, go on and do your thing, girl. I ain't trying to do that. Like, you already did that. I'm cool. And enjoy yourself. She gonna slow down just like all of us have to slow down and deal with life in reality and balance. Us real women. You know what I mean? So I'm like, that was what made it hard for me, and others like me that had other things and stories around their movement, because other people got to a point where they didn't want to support. And so I had to bully my way and build my own outlets and make it very clear. Hold up, let me be clear, and release more music and make sure people are very clear that I'm capable. You know what I mean? And now everybody's, if you don't got a million, streams and you ain't paid for a whole bunch of followers and this and that, which I get that all day long, but I'm not interested in the fake. You know what I mean? I want to know what's really real out here. So those are the hard things for me, is because I'm not in that get along mentality of I got to, do what everybody else doing. I just don't feel like I think your authenticity is what's going to always stand. You know what I mean? And you standing up for something.
Absolutely. I want to get your opinion on, you kind of touched on it briefly earlier, but the overall sexualization of hip hop, and what will be, your message to people like a Cardi B and Meg The Stallion, even a Nicki Minaj at one point, where it seems like all they do is put out this sexualized music over and over again because it's selling. So being an OG in the game, what will be your message to those young ladies?
Well, what's so funny is Meagan The Stallion looks like me. And people crack me up because people say, you look like her. No, honey, I'm older than her, probably twice her age. She looks like me. I know I look young because I am, thank God, because I did wear myself down and listen to everybody. Okay. And fall into the antics and the get along gang. But she looks like me, so that cracks me up. They're all replicates of all of us, first of all, like you got one that's doing the little Kim and the Foxy Brown, and then you have, and me every blue moon, and then you had, one trying to be rough like, me, but they're not really game rough. They're more so talk smack and brag on money rough, And then you got a combination of all of them basically like us and doing pretty much the same thing that we've done. The only one I could really say that was very different is Nicki Minaj. Yeah. Nicki Minaj started it off, but not necessarily at the first, because you had Trina, you know what I mean? But Nicki Minaj was out of the new ladies who actually, to me, and I say this out of respect, but I think she kind of did Stank more classy and more of an act, This is my opinion. She kind of made sure that you knew that she was acting, and this is a fun game to her. And it was more of a entertainment. That's what I'm thinking. So, and she to me, all the newer artists sound just like her. Some of them sound a little bit like us too. But it just trips me out because I just hope so much I could say around it, but to try to get right to it that's the first thing I want to address. So they're a little sister of us, you know what I mean? But they may not look at it like that. They may look at it like, they might be getting pushed from their background for the people in back of them. They're saying, no, you need to do better than Suga T. Matter of fact, take her name and say you call yourself Sugar. Because one of them, Meagan, actually calls, she got a song or a quote unquote, what do they call it? Her alter ego thing. And she calls Sugar.
Yeah. I don't mean to cut you off. I'm sorry. Real quick though, are you saying that? Are you implying that somebody tried to emulate her whole style around you in particular?
I'm not. No, I'm not saying that. But I know we've had a lot of influence, and I'm sure someone around her have heard Sugar, Sugar. Everybody know that song. It's double platinum. You know what I'm saying? And it's been around for 20 years at least. 25 years. It might be 22, something like that. So I'm certain that, somebody, a grandmother, or auntie, a cousin, a brother, their manager, somebody knows that song. But I can't necessarily say that they make the whole brand, but you never know. They might be sitting up looking at people like me that's an innovator that was big before, that's still a threat because they don't want my voice to be heard because I got sensible things to say. And I might not be considered the get along gang type that you could get over on because I got wisdom. And unfortunately, a lot of folk agenda, is to deal with the folk that don't got really a lot of sense, to be honest with you, and they can catch them vulnerable, or got limited, let me say limited, information. So at the end of the day, they may be sitting up looking at me and copying off me, who knows? They might be looking at every video that I made because I have a lot of videos that's out there don't got a whole bunch of streams because I'm not paying for the streams and I'm not killing myself putting a whole bunch of money behind it to be in the mix of the elite like that because I'm okay. The real ones will come find me. They know what it is. And at one point there would be a certain amount of presence, but I'm not going to do it just to try to be in the game. You know what I mean? And to be impressive to the folks. So, and I have enough, and I didn't have to build my whole life off of the public. Thank God. I'm a businesswoman. I own an enterprise. You know what I mean? I have multiple streams of income and opportunities around me coming into the game. And I've been pushing my own music, my own label, co-branding with my brothers from the beginning, and running my own label and entity for I don't know how long. So the bottom line is my thing is, as long as it's available and people know it's there, come look for me. The real ones will come look for me. And now I could do this the rest of my life and be okay because it'll continue to build. But and at one point here and there would be some extra exposure, but they got that whole machine behind them that's pushing their, sexual presence. And I think that I don't know if they're with it, or that's all they know. I know when we're young, we're limited to information, so that might be all they know. They might not know nothing else, unfortunately. And so my word to them would be, diversify yourself, sister. You know what I mean? So you can learn about other things. And I would love to be a part of mentoring these young ladies. But a lot of these young ladies don't want to be mentored. They think they already got it. When you get a lot of money and they putting a whole bunch of concert money in your hand and you running around here and you thinking that that's how you've arrived and that's what makes you, all that, that you might not want no mentoring from somebody like me. So I'm not going to beg them. I would think sensible people would reach for other people who come somewhat or similar to them and hopefully safe for them because you could have the similarity, but they might be just as off as you. It'll be the blind leading the blind. You know what I mean? So, so if I was them, I'll be looking for a mama figure, somebody that got kids like me, somebody that understands the good, the bad, and the ugly. Somebody that still fly, somebody that can still rock the mic. So it ain't because they bitter and they done, they still hip and connected. You know what I mean? And that would be something that I would say to them. And at the same time, I'm hoping that, that at one point they will be okay, that their mental wellness will be okay. Because I get concerned about my little sisters and brothers. I'm not going to beat up on them. You know what I mean? I have my thoughts about them. They need to be respectful because a lot of them don't want to give props to the OGs. But, I look at the OG women and they just as bad. They over there ganging up. I call some of them. Matter of fact, I'm going to bust them out. I call some of them and they, how much it costs? If she got a budget, you know what I mean? I ain't going to say no names. But that's the kind of responses I get. And it's like, wait a minute, I'm trying to just work with y'all. You know what I mean? I'm one of y'all. I'm a G. I don't need nothing from you. And I do got a budget. But I don't want to work with you because you don't even want to befriend me.
Right.
You feel me? We supposed to be connected, like queens, and we older, and that ain't supposed to be the response you're supposed to give. You know what I mean? So, so it's a thin line, at least the younger ones will work together from time to time. At least they have came together and done stuff, And at the same time, when the older ones do, they get their little pick. They do the same stuff. They ain't a good example. They do the same gang up, go over here to this coast and come together, and only focus on these and snatch one out of one camp. They're not being fair. You feel me? So I'm from the Bay, and I'm probably different from the average female. I look at all the aspects of it. From the Bay, we've been very independent minded. And and because this is where, as you know, San Francisco and Silicon Valley, and a lot of influence come from over here. A lot of great stars, and Keisha Cole is from over here. Terry Javon. I mean, I can just keep going on and on and on. MC Hammer, Oakland 357, CMG, the Conscious Daughters, Mystic. I'm just gonna shout out, the generals in my space, Guapale. There's quite a bit of talent that came from here, and I can continue to go. Pointer Sisters, In Vogue, to go on and on and on. And we pump out some good stuff, but they be over here kind of blocking us too a little bit and not sharing the space. When they come to the West Coast, they come over to LA and grab one out of LA, and then that suffices for the West Coast. That's not the only West Coast representation around this piece. You feel me?
Yeah.
And we've been a very, very good influence, to the industry, us Bay Area women. We brought quite a bit of innovation. So when I look at these ladies, back to that, these ladies, I would say to them, reach for some sisterhood, that can give you some inspiration. Don't let your money be making you think you arrived, because I'm not trying to be funny, and this is not directly to them, but this is to people who think like them. Baby, money or fame can't equate to game, period. You know what I'm saying? So real game, real experience. I don't care how much money you got. It does not make you bigger or better than nobody. It doesn't make you no more, and it doesn't make you more prestigious. If you ain't really completing the whole circle of life, then you came here and just came to get money. And that's all if that's all you want, then do that. But if you want to get bigger than money and well-round your whole movement and complete the goal of purpose, which you came here to do, which is much more of a wider area of responsibility, definitely reach further and reach in your soul, if nothing else, if you can't reach nobody else.
They definitely appreciate that. You also brought up a little early in the conversation, cancel culture. And we see Dave Chappelle, obviously, he just dropped his latest Netflix special, The Closer. I don't know if you saw it. I saw it. It was pretty damn funny. He did his thing, but obviously it was a group of people offended by it. And a lot of people are telling them to stay out their feelings. And there's a lot of people saying that they should cancel Dave Chappelle. What's your thoughts on the whole cancel culture phenomenon that's came across with social media? How do you think about cancel culture? And what do you think about Dave Chappelle in particular and his comedy show, if you saw it?
I think it's horrible. This cancel culture thing is serious. These antics are bullying. This ain't nothing but a bunch of media bullies. A whole bunch of cyber bullies in high places that all come together and look for who they're going to control. I think it's horrible. I just put up a post and I talked about something that an older man told me about, and he gave me a certain amount of things, watch people who lie, this, that, and the third. We don't do no new, vacuum cleaners. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Nothing new. That vacuum cleaner is a year old. Ain't nobody trying to just vacuum clean themselves. And, there's certain things that they feel about. So I mentioned that, and they're blocking right now my stuff on Instagram. I looked at it at first. I seen like 80 comments, and now all of a sudden I see 20. And I can't comment back on some of them. So it's terrible. I think it's bad when you can't be free. This is supposed to be America, and you're supposed to be free. We should be able to say whatever we want to. People have different experiences, and our character is made from our experiences. You know